There's a saying among sailors, the sea never gives up its dead. But what happens when the sea takes the living? What I wish I knew standing on solid ground is the true nature of the ocean's mercy. It is vast, it is beautiful, but it is utterly indifferent. And sometimes, when you need help the most, the only response is the sound of the waves. The ocean is merciless, and sometimes, rescue comes too late. In the final, desperate days of World War II, the USS Indianapolis was tasked with a mission of the utmost secrecy. On board, secured in a lead-lined container, were the core components of the atomic bomb, Little Boy. The crew knew only that their cargo was precious, and their destination was Tinian Island. They had just set a speed record delivering this world-altering weapon. Their mission complete, they set a course for the Philippines, unescorted, sailing into what they believed were safe waters. They had no idea they were sailing into history's deadliest naval disaster. Just after midnight on July 30th, 1945, two torpedoes from the Japanese submarine I-58 slammed into the Indianapolis. The explosions were catastrophic, ripping the ship apart. Power was lost instantly, plunging the decks into darkness and chaos. With no time to send a clear distress signal or deploy lifeboats, the mighty cruiser listed, rolled, and then plunged bow first into the abyss. In just 12 minutes, the USS Indianapolis was gone. Nearly 900 men from a crew of 1,195 sailors and Marines were thrown into the black, oil-choked water. Many were badly burned or injured. Most had only a standard life jacket. As the sun rose on the first day, the survivors bobbed in the vast, empty expanse of the Pacific, clinging to debris and each other. But their ordeal had just begun. Due to a series of catastrophic communication errors and the secrecy of their mission, no one knew they were missing. The Navy didn't even report them as overdue. They were utterly alone. For 4 agonizing days and 5 terrifying nights, they faced a litany of horrors. The relentless sun scorched their skin and boiled their brains. Dehydration became the greatest enemy. Men, driven mad by thirst, would drink the salt water, sealing their fate with hallucinations and a swift, agonizing death. Then came the sharks. Drawn by the explosions and the blood in the water, hundreds of oceanic whitetips began to circle the helpless men. At first, they took the dead, but soon they began attacking the living. The attacks were relentless, a constant, terrifying presence from below. Men formed circles, kicking and screaming to keep the predators at bay, but one by one, they were pulled under. Hope dissolved into despair. Men lost their minds, fighting each other over imagined islands or fresh water. Others simply let go, surrendering to the deep. On the 4th day, by a sheer miracle, a U.S. Navy patrol plane on a routine flight spotted an oil slick. Pilot Wilbur Gwynn flew lower and saw them. The heads of men scattered across the ocean like confetti. A massive rescue was finally launched. In an act of incredible bravery, another pilot, Adrian Marks, landed his PBY Catalina seaplane in the heavy swells, pulling 56 desperate survivors from the water, even as his aircraft was battered beyond repair. When the first rescue ship, the USS Cecil J. Doyle, arrived, its crew was met with a scene from hell. Of the nearly 900 men who went into the water, only 316 were pulled out alive. The loss of 879 lives makes this the deadliest disaster in U.S. naval history at sea. In a tragic miscarriage of justice, the ship's captain, Charles McVay III, was court-martialed, a scapegoat for the Navy's own failures. He was finally exonerated decades later, long after his death. The story of the USS Indianapolis is a harrowing testament to human endurance against impossible odds. Their sacrifice, their struggle, and their memory will never be forgotten.